The courtroom is quiet, except for the sound of Christine Brown's breathing. Her hands shake as she looks across the room at Kody, the man whom she once trusted with her life, her faith, with her family. Now he's her adversary. The air is thick, charged. Everyone's holding breath. And when it finally comes, it's not what anyone's anticipating. Christine's voice slices through the tension. I'm not here to destroy a man. I'm here to protect my children from one. And with that single line, the courtroom explodes into chaos. This isn't just a divorce, it's a war for truth, legacy, and freedom. If you think you know what really happened between Christine and Kody, wait until you hear what the court uncovered. But first, let's go into the storm. Tell me, whose would you stand if love became a courtroom battle? Christine's or Kody's? Comment below, because after this, your response may change forever. The imagination camera opens on the Salt Lake City courthouse. The sky is gray, the kind that weighs with tension rather than rain. Inside, all seats are filled. Fans, journalists, even former neighbors in Flagstaff, all speculating about what possibly could have come between the sister wives this badly. Christine arrives first. Her serenity is just an illusion. Her eyes betray another truth, a woman bearing years of betrayal behind her sweet smile. Her attorney, a keen but empathetic woman named Amelia Hart, whispers, "Remember, Christine, today isn't just about the law. It's about your truth." The far side of the room, Kody sits next to his attorney, arms folded, his trademark mane pulled back tightly. His glare is riveted on Christine's every movement. Behind him, Robyn remains quiet but tense. Janelle and Mary? They're absent. For now. The judge appears, Judge Harris, famous for her direct stare and no-tolerance policy for histrionics. "This court is now in session," she declares. Christine's team starts. Amelia stands and says, "Your Honor, we're here because Mr. Brown's decisions, emotional, financial, and spiritual, have directly harmed not just my client but her children." The courtroom murmurs. Cameras zoom. Kody leans forward, jaw tight. Amelia goes on, "We'll present proof that for years, Kody exercised emotional manipulation in the name of spiritual oneness, emotionally isolating Christine and her children, and eventually financially. It's not simply about love going wrong, Your Honor. It's about power. What if the person you used to refer to as family became your greatest adversary, in public?" Stay with me, because Christine's next step turns everything around. Christine steps forward. She draws breath, glances at Kody, and hesitates. Her words stumble. And then, as if recalling what she's there for, she finds her footing. "I lost everything," she starts quietly. "My house, my anonymity, my religion. All for the sake of believing in him. But love shouldn't hurt, even if the marks aren't visible." Courtroom becomes charged. Even Kody appears uncomfortable. Christine goes on, recalling years of being made to feel second best, of seeing Kody favor one wife over the others, and of the gradual simmer that built her breaking point. And then, suddenly, Amelia mentions a sealed document. The audience murmurs, a request for custody modification. Kody's eyes go wide. "Objection," his attorney yells. "That document was never presented for today's hearing." Judge Harris looks down. "Then why," she asks, "is it signed by your client, Mr. Brown?" The room gasps. Even Robyn mutters something under her breath. Christine remains quiet, allowing the turmoil to erupt. "You think this was a breakup? Wait until you see what Kody signed without realizing the consequences." Flashback 2 years ago. Christine is sitting in her kitchen, the acrid scent of burnt coffee hanging in the air. Kody is standing near the door, not looking at her. "I just think," Kody says icily, "you need to take more responsibility for the education of the kids." Robyn's plate is full enough. Christine's voice cracks. "You're their father too, Kody. You can't decide what family is most important to you." He doesn't respond. He simply exits. That moment, the silence of the door closing, becomes the seed of everything that followed. Back in the courtroom, Kody's lawyer argues that Christine is exaggerating emotional pain. But Amelia is ready. She plays a voicemail recording, Kody's voice, angry and bitter, saying, "You made your choice, Christine. Don't expect me to stand by it. You're on your own now." The recording plays from the speakers. Christine's eyes well up, but she doesn't glance away. Courtroom falls silent once more. Even the press secretaries cease typing. Judge Harris leans forward. "Mr. Brown, did you say that?" Kody's quiet speaks volumes. When silence can be confession, words aren't required for truth. But trust me, what Christine has to say next will make this courtroom tremble. The judge pauses briefly for a recess. Cameras pop as the crowd erupts outside. Journalists swarm Christine, but she maintains her head down. Her attorney guards her. In the meantime, Kody and Robyn consult in huddles. "He's losing control," one journalist whispers. But the true shock hasn't even begun yet. As Christine emerges into the hallway, somebody approaches, Janelle. She appears pale, anxious, but resolute. "I couldn't remain silent any longer," Janelle whispers. "I brought something you'll need to see." She extends Christine a small flash drive. It's what he didn't say. Christine's breath hitches. "What is this?" Janelle pauses, looking towards the courtroom door. "Evidence. That all that you spoke wasn't just emotional. It was strategic." Christine gazes at her elder sister wife, the first friend she's had in years. And in that one instant, something changes. This isn't about heartache anymore. It's about justice. Sometimes the ones you believed were quiet are the loudest keepers of truth. Don't move an inch, because what's on that flash drive can destroy it all. As the judge calls everyone back, the air changes. Christine looks calm, maybe even victorious. Kody glances her way, a flicker of doubt in his eyes. For the first time, he seems unsure. The flash drive rests on the defense table, untouched but burning with promise. The judge says, "We'll resume with new evidence submitted by the plaintiff." Christine nods. Amelia inserts the drive. The screen flashes, and there the picture is. Security footage. Kody. Late night. Signing documents at Robyn's residence. Documents labeled property transfer, Flagstaff home, from the family trust into Robyn's name alone. Courtroom explodes. Christine says nothing. She doesn't need to. Judge Harris holds up her hand. "Order in the court." But it's done. The audience has already seen too much to doubt anything. This wasn't even betrayal of the heart, it was betrayal of the law. And in session 2, that betrayal becomes something sinister. The gavel falls. Court adjourned until tomorrow. Christine takes a breath at last. Her attorney puts a hand on her shoulder. But as she heads out the door, Kody grumbles under his breath, loud enough for her to hear. "You think you've won, Christine? You don't even know what I've done to protect us." She freezes, turning around. "What do you mean?" Kody merely smirks, striding past her. "See you tomorrow." And as he exits the courtroom, the echo of his shoes ringing down the corridor, like the start of something she isn't prepared for. Courthouse the next morning is a different place. Once the tension was just thick, it was now smothering. There are reporters on the steps, photographers firing off their cameras in all directions, and inside, rumors circulate like fire. Yesterday's leaked clip has already gone viral on the internet. They're calling it the Sister Wives Showdown. But nobody outside these walls has any idea what's really about to happen today. Christine creeps through the corridor softly, her heart racing in her chest. She hasn't slept. With every moment she closed her eyes, she saw that video, the signature, the transfer of property, and Kody's smirk. Amelia keeps pace with her, breathing softly. "We have to remain calm." The video was compelling, but we still need context to establish intent. Today, we conclude what we began. Throughout the courtroom, Kody resembles a tempest on the verge of explosion. His jaw is clenched, his eyes red-rimmed. Robyn sits next to him, tissues clutched, keeping her eyes from anyone. The judge bangs down into her seat. "This court will now consider the evidence presented yesterday," she declares curtly. "And I expect complete cooperation from both sides." Kody's attorney stands up at once. "Your Honor, my client was in an emotional state when those documents were signed. He thought it was for tax reasons, not deceit." Amelia doesn't bat an eyelash. "Then let's hear it from him himself," she says. Kody stands. His feet are slow, deliberate. When he sits, he looks forward, not at Christine. His voice is steady, but it shakes beneath. "I never meant to harm anybody. My intent was to safeguard my family. The home transfer, it wasn't greed. It was safeguarding what was remaining in a secure fashion." Amelia leans forward. "From whom, Mr. Brown?" Kody hesitates, his gaze darting to Christine. "Out of chaos. Out of people walking away." Christine's lips compress. For an instant, her pain bursts forth in anger. Sometimes the truth doesn't emerge in words, it seeps through the space between them. Get close, because what is about to be spoken next will turn everything on its head. Amelia inches closer. "You're telling me your wife walking out on you was chaos, but covertly moving funds wasn't?" Kody's voice is shrill. "You don't know what it's like keeping a family together with 4 wives tugging in opposing directions." Judge Harris bangs down her gavel. "Mr. Brown, calm down." Christine's fingers clench the table. She looks at him. "You didn't want to keep a family together," she says gently. "You wanted to dominate it." The words burst like thunder. Amelia opens another document. "Your Honor, we'd like to enter Exhibit D, a chain of bank transactions revealing funds transferred from the family account into a private trust under Robyn Brown's name. These were executed the same week Christine told Kody that she was going to separate." Kody tenses up. Robyn turns to him, frightened. Christine whispers, "You were getting ready for me to leave before I said it, weren't you?" He doesn't answer. His silence speaks volumes. When silence is louder than any admission, the courtroom doesn't breathe, it's listening. And at the moment, everyone is holding their breath. Judge Harris seems unconvinced. "Mr. Brown, these records indicate intentional financial diversion. Have you any explanation?" Kody massages his forehead. "I was told. To preserve what was still working. Robyn and I had the sole stable residence remaining." The words sit in the room, hard and unforgiving. Christine's eyes flutter shut briefly, her chest lifting in a slow breath. Her voice cracks when she continues speaking, but she doesn't cover it up. "I wasn't requesting luxury," she says. "Only fairness. You took what protection I worked for our children and gave it away." Robyn breaks into sobs. "It wasn't my choice," she says. "He said it was temporary. I didn't even read the documents." Kody spares her a hard glance. "Robyn, be silent." The courtroom murmurs. Amelia looks at the judge, who motions to proceed. Robyn dabs at her eyes and looks at Christine. "I tried to phone you. I tried to warn you when I figured out what was going on. He told me not to." Christine's face whitens. "You." "What?" Robyn nods. "There's more. There were other reports. Ones you don't even know about. You can sense it. When the truth finally bursts wide open, it does not whisper, it screams." And at this moment, Robyn's words are going to resound throughout the entire courtroom. Judge Harris calls for a brief recess as both camps erupt into silent mayhem. Journalists outside to report news. Christine stands in the corridor, stunned. Amelia is on the phone with a forensic accountant. Janelle approaches unobtrusively once more. "You see? I warned you the drive was merely the tip of the iceberg." Christine glances at her, tears rising. "Why didn't anyone warn me?" Janelle's eyes glisten. "We were afraid, Christine. He made us feel like speaking up would destroy everything. but now that it's all out there, maybe that's the only way to fix it. They share a long silence. Years of shared pain unspoken between them. In every story of betrayal, there's always someone who finally decides enough is enough. That's when the story stops being about heartbreak and starts being about strength. The judge summons everyone back. The air is heavier now. Kody's face is flushed, Robyn is shattered. Christine seems composed, prepared for whatever is coming. Amelia starts. Your Honor, considering these developments, we are asking for a complete financial audit of all marital property. We suspect further property and accounts were intentionally withheld to use for custody bargaining leverage. Kody's lawyer objects, but Judge Harris interrupts him. If that is the case, then this case isn't about custody, it's about financial impropriety. Crowd inhales in shock. Christine's stomach turns over. She never wanted this to be a battle. But she knows deep down this isn't about justice. It's about staying alive. The judge looks at Kody. Do you have anything more to say before we finalize this? Kody glares at Christine, and for an instant his mask cracks. You always knew how to be the victim, he says icily. Congratulations. You're finally winning. Christine doesn't say a word. She simply looks at him, silently, assertively, and says, winning isn't what I came here for. Truth is, occasionally winning isn't how you picture it, it's how you stand as the one who shattered you finally shatters themselves. But we're not quite finished, because Kody's next action is going to surprise everyone. Judge Harris slams the gavel again. This court will reopen tomorrow for consideration of new evidence. Both parties are directed to be silent publicly until that time. Crowd breaks out as Christine collects her belongings. Her hands tremble faintly as she emerges into the cold. Cameras flash, voices yell questions. But her gaze remains ahead. Amelia breathes, tomorrow we finish this. Kody follows behind them, Robyn in tow. He doesn't glance at the cameras, doesn't speak a word. But his face, cold, dark, tells it all. He leans in close to Robyn and whispers, if they think they've seen it all, they haven't. The door slams shut behind them. The echo remains. Christine pauses in the parking lot, drawing a deep breath. The wind stirs her hair, the courthouse standing behind her as a shadow she's finally learned to confront. She glances at Janelle, who waits silently by her car. Do you think this will ever end? Janelle exhales quietly. Perhaps not neatly. But truth has a way of surfacing, Christine. Even when folks attempt to hide it. Christine nods, her eyes drifting out the window. She has no idea what tomorrow will bring, but she knows she won't be running anymore. And in some office deep within that courthouse, behind locked doors, someone else is looking on. A clerk, sifting through documents, pauses at one envelope with Kody's name printed on the front. Sealed, unsent. Inside, something that might make everything different. Courthouse seems colder than usual. There's a presence in the air today, a tension that makes everyone inside know the day won't end quietly. Crowd fills the room, cameras buzz gently, and whispers circulate in every corner. Christine sits near the front, her gaze concentrated, but there's tightness in her shoulders. She knows what awaits her today might make everything different, not only the case, but her life. Kody arrives late. His pace is dragged out, his stride slower than normal, his confidence lost but not extinguished. His eyes are tired, haunted appearing, but the way he scans the room indicates he's not ready to quit. Robyn comes after, her eyes puffy from tears. She doesn't glance at Christine. Not today. Judge Harris sits down. Court is in session, she declares authoritatively. Prior to starting today, I've been presented with a sealed envelope submitted anonymously to the clerk of this court this morning. It directly relates to the financial evidence that was given yesterday. A whisper surges through the courtroom. Kody's face sets. Christine gasps. The judge goes on. Since it's relevant and upon check by the clerk, it will be accepted into record. Amelia inclines toward Christine. This might be it, the missing link. The judge delicately opens the envelope. There are a few printed emails and a signed affidavit inside. She reads in silence for a moment before raising her eyes. It seems, Mr. Brown, that these papers mention an undisclosed trust account in Arizona in your name with more than $420,000, established 6 months prior to your legal separation from Mrs. Brown. The room explodes. Gasps, whispers, camera flashes, chaos. Kody's lawyer immediately stands. Your Honor, this is clearly fabricated. We've never. Judge Harris raises a hand. Sit down, counselor. The documents have verified metadata and bank confirmation. This account exists. Christine's eyes fill, not with shock but something deeper, relief mixed with heartbreak. When you've been doubted long enough, the truth doesn't set you free. It incinerates every lie that made you silent. Stay with me, because Kody's reaction is about to rearrange everything. Kody's face reddens. His breathing accelerates. You don't understand, he suddenly shouts, pounding his hand on the table. That money wasn't mine, it was for them. For all of them. Christine stands. Then why conceal it? She asks quietly. Why keep it a secret? He does not respond. Robyn, shaking, whispers, I told you this would be revealed, Kody. He regards her icily, eyes burning. You don't get to speak now. The judge pounds the gavel. Order. Mr. Brown, if you can't manage to keep a hold on yourself, you'll be escorted out of this courtroom. Amelia advances, voice steady but firm. Your Honor, with this new evidence, it's evident that my client's trust was breached much earlier than the breakup. We have now evidence of willful concealment and fraud. Kody leans back. For the first time, he appears small. Christine stares at him, eyes firm but laced with anguish. You could have told me the truth, she says softly. I would have known. But you decided to make me think I was going crazy. There's that instant when truth rings out louder than emotion, and everybody in the room is sensing it. The mood in the room changes, and the man who had always been in charge now appears helpless. The judge leans forward. Mr. Brown, can you confirm or deny your affiliation with this account? He swallows. I can confirm its existence, he grunts. But I did not intend for it to harm anyone. Christine releases a shaky breath. It already did. Robyn dabs her tears, whispering, I can't do this anymore. Everyone turns to her. Judge Harris speaks softly. Mrs. Brown, would you like to make a statement? Robyn slowly nods. Yes, Your Honor. I have to tell the truth. Kody informed me several months ago that if Christine left, we had to defend what was ours. He said she was leaving the family, and that meant she didn't deserve a share. Christine's head falls slightly, her hands shaking. Robyn goes on, voice shaking. He said I wasn't to ask questions. But when the transfers of money began, I knew there was something going on. I wanted to make it stop, but I didn't want to lose him. When guilt finally shatters silence, it doesn't only unlock secrets, but souls. And at the moment, Robyn's guilt is ripping the courtroom apart. Kody's face goes pale. You're lying, he snaps, but his voice breaks halfway through. Judge Harris scowls. Mr. Brown, that's enough. Your financial impropriety will be investigated by a disinterested investigator. In the meantime, your custody and property rights are temporarily suspended. The gavel strikes once. The report of it reverberates like thunder. Christine releases a startled breath. For an instant, she thinks she can feel herself lighten, like the weight of years just lessened ever so slightly on her shoulders. But way down deep, she knows this is far from over. As the courtroom clears, Robyn approaches her quietly. Christine. I'm sorry, she whispers. I know sorry isn't going to cut it. But he's not finished. He's going to do something. Christine regards her, puzzled. What do you mean? Robyn looks around uneasily, speaking softly. He said if this didn't go down the way he wanted it to, he'd let everyone in on her secret. I have no idea what he meant, but it sounded intimate. Christine stiffens. My secret. Robyn nods. I thought he was kidding, but he sounded sincere. He said, if she'd like to play court, I'll play truth. Amelia approaches. Christine, we need to leave. The press are waiting. Christine nods, but her brain is racing. What could he possibly be hiding? She's lived every aspect of her life in the open. What could he possibly be hiding now? Times to win one battle is to open the door to the next war. And Christine is going to learn that all betrayals do not occur in courtrooms. Some occur in hushed tones behind doors. Flashes explode like lightning outside. Christine descends the courthouse steps, people stepping out of her way. Janelle stands by the car, watching intently. Are you all right? She asks. Christine's head moves slightly in denial. He's planning something. Janelle's face twists in a frown. You think he's still got anything left? Christine glances towards the courthouse doors. Kody stands there for an instant, looking at her, an odd calm on his face. Then he smiles, not warmly but knowingly. And in that instant, Christine sees this isn't over. Not by a long shot. 'Cause round 2 won't be about money or custody. It'll be about something much more dangerous, truth coiled into revenge. The storm does not wait until the next court hearing, it arrives that evening. Rain pounds at the windows of Christine's house as she sits at her dining room table, piles of legal documents and notes on paper in front of her. The house is too still. The children are in bed, Janelle has returned home, and the hum of the refrigerator is the sole noise remaining. But something in her stomach refuses to let her sleep. Kody's smile from before, it wasn't defeat. It was a threat. Her phone rings. Unidentified number. She pauses before answering. Hello? The voice on the other end is even-keeled, almost practiced. Mrs. Brown? Detective Miles, Flagstaff PD. We've had some paperwork filed in your name a little while back this evening. Money stuff, but with discrepancies of concern. We'd like to get you down for a quick statement. Christine scowls. Filed in my name? I didn't wait, what paperwork? The line crackles. We'll go over that in person. Morning tomorrow. Call hangs up. She sits there, looking at her phone. A shiver creeps up her spine. When the past begins reaching for you in the present, it's never an accident. Stay here, because what Christine walks in on next will challenge even her belief in truth. Courthouse the following morning is a different world. Christine shows up bright and early with Amelia, both with coffee cups in hand, both strung tight. Reporters cluster on the steps again, but this time their questions are more pointed. Christine, did you forge documents? Is it true you're under investigation for fraud? What does Kody mean by her secret? Her stomach drops. She hasn't even walked inside, and already the narrative is changing. Inside the courtroom, the energy is electric. Kody sits tall again, a faint smirk tugging at the corner of his mouth. Robyn avoids looking at him. Janelle's in the back row, silent but watchful. The judge appears upset. Before we go on, she starts, the court has been made aware of new information filed anonymously, tax returns supposedly in Mrs. Brown's name, with undeclared earnings for a number of years. Christine's heart is pounding. That can't be, she whispers. Kody's attorney stands readily. Your Honor, my client did not become aware of these until this morning as well. It seems Mrs. Brown was not as forthcoming about her finances as she indicated. Gasps ripple through the room. Amelia stands instantly. Objection. There's no verification that my client filed these and no proof they're authentic. The judge nods. Understood. We'll verify. But the timing is suspicious. Christine turns toward Kody. He's watching her with cold amusement, one eyebrow raised, like a man who just pulled the rug out from under his opponent. Occasionally, the battle for truth turns into a game of shadows, and Christine is in one she never designed. Amelia inches closer. He's attempting to discredit you prior to the custody decision. Don't respond. Allow the evidence to speak for itself. Christine nods, but her head is reeling. Kody had access to her previous documentation, her previous residences, even her own signature. Did he? The judge clears her throat. Until these claims are heard, the decision on custody will be stayed temporarily. Christine's heart falls. That was Kody's scheme all along, to drag things out, to manipulate, to get her branded as unstable. When the gavel comes down, reporters dash out to write their reports. Kody Brown alleges ex-wife of fraud, blazes across every screen by noon. That evening, Christine sits beside Janelle at her kitchen table. Tension is palpable between them. He planted it, Christine breathes. He must have. Those records, they're too good, too thorough. Janelle nods. He's desperate. You boxed him in court, and now he's desperate to take you with him. Christine's voice breaks. But what if they believe him? Janelle lays a hand on hers. Then we discover evidence. You've gone too far to have him rewrite your history. There's always a moment in each war when the truth is small, and that's precisely when you struggle more for it. The next day, Amelia gets a call from a private investigator she'd quietly hired weeks ago to trace Kody's financial trails. You're not going to believe this, he says. Those tax forms, they weren't just fake. They were filed from a computer owned by one of Kody's business entities. Amelia says, "You can prove that?" Absolutely. P addresses, timestamps, everything. He did this. They hurry to Christine's house with the documents. Christine sits in silence as Amelia recounts the evidence. Gradually, denial turns to resolve. So he wanted to make me out a liar, she states. Then let's show them what a real liar looks like. The following morning, they approach court with serene accuracy. Cameras snap, but this time Christine doesn't even blink. Amelia stands before Judge Delgado. Your Honor, we have uncovered new evidence demonstrating that the fake documents submitted in Mrs. Brown's name were submitted from Mr. Brown's corporate computer. We have server logs and IT support that confirm this. Silence in the courtroom. The attorney for Kody stammers. That's ridiculous. There is no evidence my client had access, Amelia interrupts. The log indicates his personal account logged in when he submitted it. Kody's face goes pale. Judge Harris spares him no glare. Mr. Brown, is this true? He tries to open his mouth, then closes it instead. Robyn fidgets beside him. Christine regards him intently, her heart beating steadily. Why, Kody? She asks at last. Wasn't stealing everything enough? Did you have to steal my name too? He glares, his eyes smoldering with a mixture of anger and desperation. You made me appear to be a monster. I created this family, Christine. I gave everything, and you all turned against me. Christine gets up slowly. No, Kody. You created control, not family. Sometimes the truth doesn't have to yell, it just has to get up once, and the lies drop themselves. But that's not it. Not yet. The judge takes a heavy breath. Mr. Brown, in light of this new evidence, the court will initiate an investigation into document fraud and obstruction. Until such time, you are not allowed to have contact with Mrs. Brown or the minor children. A murmur runs around the courtroom. Christine blinks her eyes shut for a split second, relief fluttering with fatigue. But when she opens them, she sees something she didn't anticipate. Robyn is quietly crying, shaking her head as though finally learning, perhaps for the first time, who Kody really is. Following the hearing, Christine emerges into the sunlight. Cameras flash once more, but now she stands taller. Janelle greets her at the steps. You did it, Janelle whispers. Christine breathes out. No. The truth did. They begin down the stairs, but before Christine has reached the bottom, her phone rings again. Text. No name, just an unfamiliar number. It says, you think it's over? You have no idea what I have. Her breath hitches. The message is preceded by a lone photo, grainy, black, but recognizable. It's a picture of her house, taken last night. She scans the crowd, terror mounting. Kody's nowhere to be found. Sometimes when a war is settled in court, it just starts in secret. And whatever Kody has planned next might not be legal either. Pete chose to ignore the question and walked back to his desk, stifling his irritation. Night has fallen in Flagstaff, but tranquility won't arrive. Christine sits alone in her living room, gazing at the photo message over and over again. Her own home, snapped from across the street. Timestamp reads 11:42 p.m. That was last night, before she even knew about the fake documents. Whoever sent this knew everything before it happened. Her heart races. She bolts the doors, double-checks each window, then collapses onto the couch, her fingers trembling. She wishes this was only another of Kody's scare tactics, a last gasp effort to keep her in fear. But deep inside, something warns her this is greater, darker. When someone who once loved you begins to treat truth as a weapon, fear becomes habitual. But today, Christine will not be the victim. The next morning, Amelia and Janelle arrive early. Christine displays the message. Amelia's eyes narrow at once. "This wasn't random," she says. "The timing, the angle, this was planned. And that means he's not acting alone." Janelle leans forward. "You think Robyn's assisting him?" Amelia shakes her head. "I don't think she's assisting. But I think she knows who is." Christine lets out a deep breath. Robyn's afraid of him, but she's still loyal. She'll never testify again. "Then we make her want to," Amelia says. "Fear can shut someone up, but guilt? Guilt can wake them up." The actual fight now isn't about documents. It's about bringing to light every secret he's relied on to maintain power. Later that afternoon, Christine receives a call from Robyn. Her voice shakes down the phone. "Christine, I didn't realize he'd go this far. I swear. But he's furious. He believes you're trying to destroy him. He said if the court doesn't rule in his favor, he'll release everything." Christine's voice remains even. "Release what, Robyn?" Robyn pauses. "He told me it's evidence you weren't faithful." Christine goes still. "He's lying." "I know," Robyn whispers, sobbing now. "He showed me doctored pictures, old, faked ones. He wants to use them to destroy your reputation." Christine clutches the phone harder. "Then you must help me stop him." There's silence. Then, at last, Robyn breathes softly. "Meet me tonight. I'll give you what I have." When a friend of an enemy has determined to talk, it can flip the whole war on its head or be the signal for betrayal. And Christine realizes either one is within the realm of possibility. That evening, Christine drives to a tiny parking area behind a sleepy diner. Robyn is already there, waiting in her car, furtively looking around. The rain is falling in gentle streaks, the kind that make the world seem closer, more hidden. Robyn gives Christine a tiny flash drive. All of it that he's been keeping secret. Financial data, texts, even voice recordings. He's stored it all on a backup account. Christine looks at it. "Why are you giving this to me?" Robyn brushes away her tears. "Because I'm sick of defending a man who only ruins the people who care about him." Headlights blink behind them. A truck screeches in quickly, too quickly. Christine's heart leaps. "Robyn!" Robyn turns back, her face blanching. It's him. Kody's truck slows to a halt, door swinging open. He erupts from the cab, eyes beset. "You think you can double-cross me?" he yells. Christine emerges, holding the flash drive. "It's over, Kody. This can't happen anymore." Kody's glare is fierce. "You stole my family, my reputation. Now you want to steal what's left of my life." Christine stands tall. "No, Kody. I'm taking back mine." He lunges forward, but Robyn steps between them, shaking. "Stop it. You've done enough." He freezes, staring at her, the one person who always defended him. The betrayal in his eyes is pure fury. For a moment, the rain stops. Silence falls, thick and heavy. Then, headlights appear again, a police cruiser pulling in, lights flashing red and blue. Kody's isn't in. You called them? Robyn whispers, I had to. Two officers approach quickly, one calling out, Mr. Brown, step back, please. Kody's face twists, rage turning to disbelief. You're all against me, he yells. You'll see the truth when it's too late. The officers restrain him, reading his rights as he struggles. Christine watches quietly, chest heaving, the flash drive still clutched in her hand. Justice does not always roar. Sometimes it comes in sirens and silence. The following morning, the news hits every network. Kody Brown arrested. Evidence of financial fraud, witness tampering, and harassment uncovered. Christine sits at the window, light streaming across the room. Janelle brings her a cup of coffee, smiling gently. It's finally over, she says. Christine breathes a long breath, watching the sun come through the clouds. No, she murmurs. It's finally starting. Janelle leans her head to one side. What do you mean? Christine raises the flash drive. 'Cause this contains everything. Not only what he did to me, what he did to all of us. The tale that started out as a battle over custody has now evolved into something far greater, an accounting. Later in the night, Christine makes her first public comments. Cameras encircle her, flashes illuminating the courthouse steps. She speaks firmly, her voice unwavering. I stayed silent for too long because I believed peace was greater than truth. But silence only shields the wrong people. So everything we're revealing, isn't revenge. It's justice. Crowd cheers. In the back of the lights, Robyn stands watching, shattered but relieved. When Christine moves to go, her phone buzzes. Another text. This one reads only a line. You think OneDrive is all there is? She scans the crowd, the camera flashes, the shouting fans, but for the first time she is not afraid. She simply smiles weakly. Then I guess the truth ain't done talking yet, because every end leaves a secret behind, and Christine's isn't near. The next chapter won't be one of survival. It'll be one of reclaiming power once and for all. The wind whipping outside whistles through the pine trees, echoing off the walls of Christine's still home. Weeks have passed since Kody's arrest, but peace still feels like a rumor. She checks her phone twice a night before going to sleep, half expecting another anonymous message. Tonight it arrives. One email. No subject line. No sender. Attached, a video file called Don't Trust Her.mp4. Christine pauses for what feels like a long time, her heart racing before she presses play. The video begins with shaky shots, a clip of the courtroom, the day Robyn confessed. Something's off, though. The audio's been manipulated. Her own voice has been cut in to make it seem like she confessed to planting evidence. It's edited, but skillfully. To the naked eye, it appears genuine. She gapes, immobile, as her false confession blares over the speakers. Then the email reloads itself, and a new message comes below it. You can't destroy me without destroying yourself. Her breath suspends. Kody's still manipulating behind the scenes, and someone is assisting him. Sometimes evil doesn't conclude with an arrest, it changes. And Christine's going to find out that truth can be used as a weapon all over again. The following morning, she marches into Amelia's office, flash drive held in one hand and laptop in the other. Amelia views the video, tightening jaw. This isn't amateur quality, she says. Someone who did this had access to the courtroom feed and editing software. That's not something he could accomplish from jail. So he has an accomplice, Christine says. But who? Janelle across the table frowns. What about Robyn? She hasn't answered your calls for days. Christine pauses. No. Robyn wouldn't, she doesn't finish, uncertainty creeping into her tone. Amelia lets out a sigh. We'll need to subpoena all the media outlets that had access to that footage. But Christine, you'd best steel yourself. This could get worse before it gets better. The nearer to the surface truth comes, the more perilous it becomes to those who have constructed their existence on falsehoods. 2 days hence, in an initial hearing, Christine navigates the hallway of the courthouse. A throng of reporters gather at the doorway. A gray-clad man dodges the security line, offering her a folded piece of paper. Before she can protest, he is gone. She unfurls it. A brief note in capital script inside. Someone else he taped too. Her gut plummets. Amelia reads and pales. Christine, if it's true, there may be recordings of you that you don't know about, personal ones. Christine's expression sets in stone. Then we locate them before he does. That evening, Christine and Janelle travel to one of Kody's former storage facilities in Arizona, a property he had bought years earlier using a company name. The lock is new, but Amelia organized a warrant. In here, the air is full of dust and metal. Shelves run along the walls packed with boxes marked by year. Janelle opens one. Inside, piles of DVDs marked in Kody's handwriting, confessionals, house footage, private calls. Christine's eyes widen. He taped it all. A dim light blinks at the end of the unit. Someone is there. Christine whispers, "Did you notice that?" A shadow glides, fast, low behind the shelves. Christine stands still, her heart thudding in her ears. Janelle draws her phone out slowly, but before she has a chance to dial, a resounding crash is heard. A shelf falls, boxes scattering on the floor. Christine gasps, and then spots a familiar figure running out the back door. Robyn. Robyn. Wait, but she's vanished. When the face of betrayal is known, the most perilous thing of all is trust. Back in the car, Janelle drives in silence. Christine gazes out the window, her head racing. She's still covering for him, she says. Even after all that. Janelle looks at her. Or maybe she's covering for herself. That realization slams home. You think he taped her too? Christine, Janelle whispers, I think he taped them all. The following day, Amelia sifts through the contents of the storage unit. Part of it's dull, family meals, old TLC interviews, domestic discussions. But then, as they delve deep into a 2019 folder, they come across a file marked insurance. Christine's heart accelerates as the recording plays. Kody in his office, staring straight into the lens. If something ever happens to me, if Christine or Janelle ever attempt to destroy me, this video is evidence of what actually went down. They believe they are innocent. They believe I won't defend myself. But I'm not the bad guy. I'm just the one who's the only one who's afraid of nothing and recorded the truth. The video cuts off sharply, but Amelia freezes the image. Christine looked behind him. On the shelf over Kody's head is a folder, labeled 2021, Legal Transfer. That's the year he transferred all the assets of the family, Christine says. If that file's still out there, it could trace where the money went. Amelia nods. Then that's our next step. Every fib leaves a trail of paper, and Christine's finally willing to track it wherever it goes. That evening, Christine gets another message, a video call invite from an unknown number. Despite her better judgment, she picks up. It's Robyn. She has red eyes and a pale face. I didn't want this to happen, she says, trembling. He said he'd keep the tapes secure. He warned me that if I wasn't careful, we'd all lose everything. Where are you? Christine asks. Robyn looks around. I don't know. But you have to cease digging, Christine. He possesses things that can destroy all of us. Not only you. Christine leans forward. Then assist me in ceasing him. Assist me in finishing this. Robyn addresses the camera, tears streaming down her face. You can't. Because even from prison, he's still watching. Call drops. The screen blanks. Christine stares at her reflection, heart pounding, the silence deafening. Because what if the real prison isn't the one Cody's in, it's the one he's built in their minds? As the rain starts again outside, Christine whispers to herself, "He may have built this world of fear, but I'm going to burn it down." And somewhere in a darkened cell, Kody sees an old recording of her on a smuggled phone, smirking. For in his mind, the game isn't finished. It's only changing. The truth has slipped beyond the courtroom, and now it's a battle waged in darkness. And Christine is going to learn that the largest secret hasn't yet even broken the surface.